Jimmy, 187, Emil Mathieu, Calculated Disco, Joe Sherry, Bill Johnson, Tweak Sauce, Alex Wigger, and Lunar 3, 112, Moho Soda, Becker 2, Jill Paccio, Yon Cracker Barrel Kid 555. Welcome. It's June 19th, 2025, y'all. Thanks for joining Steebee live stream. I wrote some notes down just for some bullet points. I want to talk about my recent concert that I went to at the Hollywood Bowl for the Blue Note Jazz Festival. Oh damn. Good looking out to King Finn Folk. Love you too, brother. You didn't have to do that. Good looking out, brother. Let me show you the back of the shirt. Transmitting live, De La Soul. Okay, so look, I have to admit, I didn't know every jazz musician, but boy were they talented. Okay, just to let y'all know, I wondered who would fill in for Trugoy, rest in peace. It happened to be Talib Kweli. He did all of Trugoy's verses. All right, so just a little history. Check out the vlog. The vlog's out now, and I had a kind of voice over some of the concert footage at the end because of copyright reasons. But I saw De La Soul in 8th grade, 1989. I'm kind of dating myself, but I went there with my friend Brandon Wheatek and Charlie Kamen, and I didn't know they were on the bill. So this is 1989, and it was PIL, Public Image Limited, Sugar Cubes, New Order, I believe, and De La Soul. So basically, even back then, they were very, very eclectic because they were the only hip hop group on that lineup. And so I also saw them in 1997 when I was going to ASU at Electric Ballroom, and I'm sure the local Crew Supermarket, shout out to Supermarket, I'm sure they opened for them. And I remember I actually had an interaction with Postanus before they. Oh, this is 1997. This is 1997. I actually saw him on the side of the stage with his head down, and he actually looked nervous. And then I was nervous approaching him, and I whispered in his ear. I go, "Hey dog, plug tune in," and then I dapped him up. And so that was a great interaction. Obviously, I didn't have close enough seats at the Hollywood Bowl, but I mean, they were like this big performing. They're like this big performing on stage. So for those of you who haven't been to the Hollywood Bowl, definitely check it out. It's you could bring your own beverages and snacks, and it's an outside like amphitheater type thing. Go check out my vlog, okay? That's all you gotta do. Go check out my vlog right now. Today, okay, so you know what? We got through the Elliot Rodger thing, didn't we? We all got through it, didn't we? This week, we're gonna go on to the Hikikomori. So for those of you who don't know, we're gonna get into it, y'all. But for those of you who don't know, the Hikikomori, I guess it's derived or derivative from Japan, and they're considered shut-ins. Another word for maybe a recluse or antisocial people. They basically don't leave their bedroom, all right? They're contained inside their bedroom 24/7, and I don't know. That's about how much I know. I don't know that much about it. That's why we're gonna go watch this together today. I already have the video queued up. But I'll tell you this much. I thought I had hikikomori tendencies, but guess what? I was at the Hollywood Bowl 2 weeks in a row. So that basically. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Matt. I bought this. Hey, Matt Bell. I bought this at the Hollywood Bowl for $40. So again, Matt commented on the shirt. They didn't have bootlegs of this. They had like the jazz They had the Blue Note whole lineup shirts, but they didn't. You had to go get this at the merch table. Okay. Yeah, so definitely go check that out. Yeah, I got a haircut too. I went to Supercuts. I don't know if y'all noticed. I just got the sides trimmed a little bit. But yeah, let's do the Hikikomori. Let me flash this real quick just for fair use since we're gonna make this transformative. Okay, and if you could like the live too as well. We're not gonna go three. Well, we'll see. I'm not gonna say we're not gonna go. We're just gonna go with the flow. We'll see. Okay, so let me see here. Hold up. Let me see. Why did it do that? Hold up. No, I'm sorry. Monitor window capture. I think it's window capture. There we go. Is this? Hold up. Is that showing up? Hold up. That's not showing up. Hold up. Uh-oh. Hold up. I'm messing up, guys. Hold up. Let me see. Window capture. Huh. Is that showing up? Okay, hold up. I'm trying to do the window capture and it's not 4-hour minimum. I don't know about that. I might have to hold up. Let me exit out of this. I might have to create another window capture. Hold up. Weeb. Okay, that's me. Window capture. And then let me see this. Okay, I think it worked. Okay, here we go. Hikikomori documentary. All right, I fixed it. Okay, this is what we're gonna watch. Hikikomori, Lost Generation. Let's go check it out. Let me go to the beginning, and let me go to theater mode. All right, thanks for joining me. What up, chat? Yeah, get your popcorn ready. We're going to watch the Hikikomori. Thank you, Stefan.
Now 30代なんですけれども、最初の方は荒れたりしてたらしいんですけれども、最近はもう親ともほとんど話してないし。
All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am gonna pause. One thing I noticed is we look very similar, huh? But the only difference is two things were revealed. He's got anger issues, and he doesn't talk to his parents. Look, we all have anger, don't we? But I've always talked to my parents. Okay. All right, let's continue. Sorry. Another thing I noticed. Sorry. I just because I have to make it transformative. Hey, I understand you don't want to leave your room, but please get a bed frame and a proper mattress and maybe a desk. Because if you're in there 24/7, dog, like, at least make it comfortable for yourself. Okay? I mean, everything. Look, I used to live that way, but I went to IKEA and I got a bed frame. You know what I mean? So, that's another thing. Oh, you know what's weird? 103. That was my wrestling weight. Sorry, guys.
の生活はおそらくこうほとんど部屋の中で完結していて、ここから。
What do you mean by that? Okay. You know what? I could change how I'll get it out of theater mode. Sorry. Maybe it's the theater mode. Is that better? Oh, look, I changed it, guys. So now you could see the dialogue. All right, I apologize for that.
5年以上。
And that's another thing, dude. Like, pick up your shit, right? You could be Hikikomori, but like, can you put things in the trash can, right? Be a little civilized. Monk, I don't look like. Do I look like a recovered Hikikomori? How dare you, Monk? Wow. Good one.
日本とアメリカでスタートしました。ニュースタートにはアメリカから来ました。で、ニュースタートにはもう3年半います。
You know, another thing I noticed, because there's quite a few like bottles laying around on that table. He probably urinates in those. Don't ask me why I would know that, but he probably does.
アメリカで大学に行ってたんですけど、勉強が難しくて、で、自分おとなしくて、あまり人に喋らないんで、難しい時にも先生とか友達にもあんまり勉強についてあんまり聞かなくて、で
Good looking out, David S. Much love from Chicago. Please buy some GameStop stock. Good looking out, David S. Since I have it paused, is he doing crossword puzzles? Like, what's he doing there? Is he, I'm just kind of curious. I can't read Japanese, but what's he doing there? And you know what? Another observation. This dude already, I like him better than Elliot Rodger. Because at least he's not he's just keeping to himself.
De 成績が悪くなってで辞めました。いや、アメリカではほとんど、日本に比べて引きこもりのこととかあんまりアメリカの人は話さないんで、どう呼ばれてるとかはわからないんですけど、それでもいるとは思います。自分みたいにあんまり話さない人でそのシャイな人だったりが、仕事を探すのが嫌になってでずっと家に閉じこもったりして引きこもりになると思います。
So that's interesting. So according to him, I noticed a few things he said. He said he's shy and then he don't want to look for another job, and then he doesn't want to leave. But I'm sure. I mean, being shy, that's one thing, but I think Hikikomori has more to do with not wanting to leave and being a recluse and just staying in your room like 24/7, 365. I mean, comment below. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, because according to him, I don't know if he's contradicting himself or if he knows what. We'll see. I don't know. See. And then I didn't even see this. I haven't seen this, and I did mention recluse, didn't I, guys and gals? I said recluse. You know what I realized too? I'm sorry for always. I gotta make it transformative. If you had to choose to be a Hikikomori, get an animal, get a pet, dog. You'll have a companion. You could look after it. You could feed it. I'm just saying, if I was a Hikikomori, I would at least have a frog or a fish. Something. The other dog is my neighbor's dog, Milo. He kicks it he is my homie. This is like his second home. That's Milo and Duke right there.
何年引きこもってたのかってよく聞かれるんですけど、何年ってなかなかはっきり特定できないんですよ。ここに来るまで38年間ずっと引きこもってました。僕の両親は、僕は小学校5年生の時に離婚したの。僕は母と2人暮らしだったんですけど、その母の影響がありまして、というのも母は世間体にこだわるタイプで、僕の職業にしても人に言っても恥ずかしくないというか、自慢できるというか。
I'm just confused. How the hell has this guy been Hikikomori for 38 years? Like, don't they have to pay rent in Japan? Like, how do they survive? Like, I'm just confused. These are just, I don't know if y'all have been just thought of that too, but how? It's okay to be a recluse, but don't you have to, like, pay for the roof over your head?
そういうことを強く望んでいたんで、性に合わない。
Jason, I'm watching just to understand, my man. You know, I want to understand this whole phenomenon. I you know, because I could kind of relate to it. I just want to understand more. I don't, because plus it's in Japan. All right, so this is the second dude, but yeah, that says a lot. He threw something at her. All right, you don't throw things at people. So my homeboy, the homie Kazuo, recluse. Kiss the Peter, not the Dinklage. Do they really seem happy though? I mean, how could you tell that they seem happy? Kiss the Peter, not the Dinklage, because maybe they're just show. I mean, we don't see the whole thing.
本とかそういう引き込み関係の本とか読んでも、なんていうんですか、本当半年とか1年以上経ったら。
You know what? I don't even know what kind of video game. That's some futuristic Japanese shit. I don't know. Maybe some vintage. I have no idea. I don't even know much about manga and all that stuff.
自分では脱出できないと、なんか外部の人からだとか、そういう何かしらの支援がないと、もうその状況から抜け出せないみたいなこと言われてるんで。
You know what's another thing that's bothering? And Koreans do this too, okay? Get some fucking furniture, dog. Can you sit in, you know I sit on the ground too, but have a bed frame. Get at least a bed frame and a mattress. That's all I'm saying, okay? I don't want to judge too hard.
男なんですよ、言っちゃえば。8対2、まあ8が男で2が女性だって。 それが、僕の場合は、とりあえずそこから脱出できたっていうのが。
He's got a master's degree in Hikikomori.
本当になんかテレビとか見ても、なんていうんですか、ネットとか使って本とか読んでも、全く頭に入ってこないんですよね。卒業した人は今どうなってるのかなっていうのがあんまりよくわかんない。多分。
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw this out there to the chat. If I were to move to Japan and live like Hikikomori, would you guys still tune into my live chat, to my live streams? Because that would be interesting to do the Hikikomori thing, but the only difference is, because that's basically what I'm doing now. I don't really leave much, but I am live streaming and doing content and going to concerts and stuff. That's all I'm saying. But would you check it out? Think about it. Angie, what up? Yeah, squatting's big in Asia. They love smoking cigarettes and squatting. That's an Asian thing. I don't know what to tell you.
今までね、 まあ、それこそ小学校ぐらいから、まあね、大学含めていろんな友達とかもいたんで、その人たちとちゃんと
Love you, baked
連
beans.
絡を
What's up, Espinoza? What's up,
取れな
Eric?
かったんで、それが一番失ったものとしては大きいかなと思いますね。
I appreciate you kiss the Peter, nothing, but I don't know, what does a twink mean? I'll accept it. You could call me the Twink King. It's fine. As long as you tune in. It's fine. You know what's crazy? At least homeboy, like he's getting some like pleasure. He's smoking a cigarette, right? At least he's getting his nicotine. He's getting his nicotine, and I'm not advocating that, but I'm just saying at least he has some kind of thing he does rather than just sit there. And that's the thing. It's okay if you're Hikikomori. You know why it's okay? Because guess what? They're not bothering anybody. They're literally like ghosts, or like you won't even, what do you say, NPCs or whatever. They're just NPCs in a room or something. You won't see them. They're not bothering anybody, right? There's nothing wrong being a Hikikomori, all right? This is interesting though, isn't it?
私たちもなんか生の声が聞けていいかなっていうふうに思って、
Okay, okay.
あの時の例を思い出して。
All right. So it might affect the family dynamic because the mom and the son and all that. But I'm saying overall, like generally speaking, as far as society, like societal norms, it's not going to affect your life, but it'll affect his life because his mom, he's probably not talking to his mom.
で、そういう流れにしてみようかっていうことで、なんか応用できるかなっていうふうに思って、
何か、きっかけがあるのかなっていう。
有森君と今日あった。どうですか？なんかこのなんだろうね、自分が動いたきっかけの出来事も別になんかこう家出ないとしょうがないなとか有料しようって思ったきっかけ。
全然講演会でも喋ってますが、一番は多分親に言われたのが一番です。割ときっかけがあれば動けたあった。プラスアルファ25っていうちょっと年齢の部分もありましたし。
それまでもでも親もいろいろ言ってたのはあっての数年があったけど、具体的な投げかけだったってことがね、今までと違ったのは。
I mean, I'm just saying, like, their parents, I'm just saying, because I was thinking, rest in peace, Pops, but, like, if I were to just sit in my room with my keyboard, like, that would be, like, technically a beatdown. Like, I remember, can I tell you all a story? I remember I took the car at ASU, and I dropped acid, and then I took the car all night, like just chilling and tripping, and I drove the car back to Gilbert where my folks lived, and boy, my mom was waiting for me on the couch, and then I like tiptoed upstairs to like sober up, or and my dad bum rushed in the room, and he's like, "Ya shikya! You go to this kage. Let's go to this store." And then he made me, and I was still tripping on LSD. And I remember he handed me the broom. I had to mop and sweep the whole clothing store. So yeah, dude, there's no way. Yeah, that would have, like, the Hikikomori. Their parents are very, very light. It seems like they're very light towards them. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to get away with just chilling like that in the room.
なんか手紙プラスなんかみたいな、なんか言われて、とりあえず読んでって、それになんかこう
Someone said I should have wrestled him. No, I shouldn't have wrestled my dad, because guess what? He used to be a boxer. He would have thrown punches at me and knocked me out.
もうさすがに行ってこいともうまだ知らんみたいな高かったんで
じゃあその親の書面の言葉に結構響いたものがあったんで
あんまりこうなんてもうこのままいるのはなしなんていうんですかもう今のもうこのままいるかもうなんていうんですかもういるっていう選択肢はもうないよっていう感じだったんでだから行くっきゃないよなっていうのも
Someone wrote, go for the Kimura. So for those of you who don't know what a Kimura is, it's a Japanese submission lock where if someone has you, you grab their wrist and then it's a leverage move to like break their arm or get out. That's a good comment.
まあ持ってる当人からしてもなんか節目とあとなんか親の強い意志みたいな感じかね。意思表示書面でっていうのが良かったってことだよね。
Hit him with the flying elbow, Steve. No, I wouldn't do that to my dad. So David Matheson, what are we watching? We're watching a Hikikomori documentary based out of Japan about these recluses that don't leave their rooms. Just to keep you, just to catch you up. Hi guys, you having fun?
こんにちは、はじめまして。私はニュースタート事務局の大栗彩子と申します。依頼があったのでお手紙を書かせていただきました。ニュースタートはいろいろな若い人たちが交流をしている場です。千葉県市川市にあります。デイサービス、パンや喫茶店、レストランなどがあります。また来週お手紙を書かせてもらえたらありがたいです。今日みたいに寒い冬の2月生まれです。寒いのでお体に気をつけてください。
You know what, Jillian? Okay, Jillian Sandoval says there should be a reality dating show for these guys. I 100% agree with that. Dude, that would be dope on Netflix, bro. Hikikomori, like love, you know, love on the spectrum, but love on the Hikikomori on that side of things. Yeah, I would tune in for that. And not only that, let's go Hikikomori with Hikikomori, because I want to know about the Hikikomori women dating the Hikikomori men, because it'll get them out of their... I don't know about that one. There you go, dog. Get it in, dog. Hell yeah. No glory hole, JJ Richards. Holy smokes, I can't believe you wrote that. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, Japan's population is shrinking. Cause can you blame them? I mean, you know one thing I noticed about Japan too. Like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but everyone's just so polite and quiet, and just they kind of head with their heads down, doing their shit. I'm sure Korea's like this too, but it's way different than what we're used to, huh? Well, I don't know where someone here in the chat could be in a different country. I don't know, but for the most part. I'm not used to that.
来た時は何にも期待してなかったんですけど、精神的にちょっと異常をきたしたんで、働けない状態になってずーっと。
Oh, welcome back, Thorkel. He says, I need a hickey tattoo. There you go. Shout out to Thorkel.
ちょっと今思い出すの結構その時は結構 苦しかったんですけど、やっぱり今までこう自分のやりたいこととかしたいことを全部我慢してこう人の意向に合わせてきたがゆえにその反動が来ちゃったのかな。
J Nasty Nate Dog says, Naked and Afraid, Hiki Edition. Dude, I'm sorry. That was a good one, brother. Oh, man, that's funny.
なんでしょうね、こう今まで
Yeah, they're being dogs, man. What could I do? They love each other. They're friends.
6年とか7年分をもうとりあえず言いたいからその人に喋るみたいな。
Hold on. Let's look at his room, y'all. That kind of looks like my apartment, though, doesn't it? A little bit, right? It's a room, right?
「最初の方は、寝てる時に行った時にこう起こしても起きなかったので、そのままメモを残して帰っていったんですけれども、反応はないんですけれども、こう起きてくれるようになったっていう変化がありますね。
Yeah, I know my apartment has lighting, but I'm just saying the aesthetic, like, I'm sure, I'm just guessing, if I were Hikikomori, I would want no lights on, very just, like, vampire coffin, a couple books laying around, and a mattress on the ground. That's the vibe I'm getting from the Hikikomori.
発さないし、パソコンしたりしてるんですけれども、まあ多分話はこう耳に届いてるのかなと。今まで30人ぐらいレンタルしてきたんですけれども、レンタルお姉さんが引きこもりの若者を
See
引
that?
き出すんです。
See, that's positive. She's trying to get these cats out of their house so that they're no longer Hikikomori. That's cool. And then that support group's cool too. Like, these are all positive things.
ですけれども、
Okay, so Band Video says, what is this about, Stevie? This is a documentary about the Hikikomori, based out of Japan. They're recluses who don't leave their apartments or rooms. They're chilling 24/7. That's what this is about. We're gonna move on to other things too. I mentioned this last week. That's a good question. What's the American version of Hikikomori? That's a good question. I have no idea. Maybe the antisocial person, or oh yeah, agoraphobia. Yeah, agoraphobia. People who don't want to be around other people.
開けてもいいですか？
Yeah, a fear of other people. Yeah, agoraphobia.
また開けますよ。
Okay.
こんにちは。こんにちは。元気ですか？ちょっと今ネット、そうです。よろしい？お話しするの。ちょっと暗いので。
I have to admit, this is kind of moving a bit slow, isn't it? It's not like an action movie, is it? It's basically, even like the demeanor of their talk is just like, yeah, just fall asleep. I'm sorry. We'll get through this, okay? That's interesting. So this Hikikomori, out of all the things he could be watching, he's watching the NFL. He's watching a football game in America. That's interesting. To me, that kind of stands out, right? Dude, if you were like Hikikomori, like let's say put yourself in their shoes, wouldn't you get like super dope at a video game and be like killing like let's say I don't know like a any kind of video game because you have so much time and that's all you're doing. Can't you just do that? Yeah, the anime doesn't shock me. That's what I thought the Hikikomori would be watching is anime.
それを心配してなのか、両親がそのニュースタートの方で1ヶ月コース新生活ニュースタート、1ヶ月コースっていうものがあるから参加してみたらどうかっていうので一応10のがあって、10月1日にここに来て。
Yeah, that guy practicing the piano has the right idea. I also thought about this. Don't you need to at least get some sunlight? A little bit, at least me. Like I'll walk to the coffee shop. You know what I mean? Skate there, walk there, get some kind of like exercise or going out. But these cats don't want to leave. Come in, Milo.
Moving here. I'm gonna. I know, Dookie. I know, sweetie.
Sorry, that was my neighbor getting Milo. Okay. Vitamin D, that's what I'm saying. They need the vitamin D.
はい、じゃあ編集会議始めます。それはしてないですよね。でもイートン祭りメインでいいんですかね、これ。真ん中？真ん中というか、6ページ使うってことは、バレンタインは、大栗さんの方にちょっと。写真とか頼んだので回収して
これは編集部員みたいな感じですけど、それ社会に出るため。
Okay, the stroke doctor says trauma can be passed down through genetics as well, and Japan was hit with a real deal trauma bomb in the 40s. I wonder if that has anything. That's a very interesting. I wonder if that has anything to do with the phenomenon. You know what? That's a very good point there that you brought up. That never crossed my mind. That is very, very, very traumatic as far as what they had to go through as a people. You know, yeah, that never even occurred to me. Yeah, maybe that's why there's this phenomenon. That must be very traumatizing to them. In that, like, yeah, you would probably shut down too and not want to leave your apartment. You know. Wow, that's a good point.
一応スタッフと寮生っていう構成で記事を毎月書いてる感じですね。ニュースタートで日々ニートとか引きこもり元ニートとか引きこもりだった方たちが堀田とかね方たちがやっぱり担当したものを自分でやらなきゃいけない。
You know what's weird? Because I'm looking at his room. It's like, and that's the thing. He's probably getting his sunlight through the window there, so he doesn't. You know, if I'm just guessing, he's probably like maybe an hour out of the day. He's probably putting his arm, on the outside of the curtains and just getting sunlight that way.
いけないから終わりから最初から終わりまでどういうふうに考えるかっていうのをやっぱ自分で頭で考える経験としては僕の一つの 人生の中の経験としてはすごいメリットがあるんじゃないかなっていうことですね。最終的に仕事ばっかりの毎日になっちゃうし、多分おそらくそういう仕事ばっかりの毎日になっちゃうだろうし。
次は渋谷お出口は右側です。東急東横線東急田園都市
ワルクスと過労、僕の場合多分過労で倒れちゃう。
Stefan's coming in with the bomb comment, the Pringles can action. I don't even know if they have the energy to break out to even construct the Pringles can, my friend. I think it seems like they're so low energy and depressed. I don't even think they're even quote unquote masturbating. I don't know. Maybe.
じゃないかなっていうふうに思うので、過去にそういうのを経験してるんで、ちょっと多分やらないかなって。
The next station is Shibuya. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Tokyo Toyoko line, the Tokyo...
Where are the women at? Is it just a bunch of dudes that are hikikomori? It's just like we've seen this is like the fourth person. It's like 4 dudes. Like, where are the women? I'm sure there's women hikikomori. Where are they at? You know what? Watching this, look how crowded the streets are. Don't y'all want to at least visit Japan once in your life? It just seems so futuristic and like just way different than anything we've experienced. I just want to visit. I just want to go there once and just to check it out. I don't think I'd agree with there's no such thing as women hikikomori. I'm sure there's a few out there. That's all I'm saying. There's got to be. They're dressing up as maids and doing peace sign pics. That's a very good comment. That's funny. Women don't need to be well adjusted to society in order for them to attract a mate. Men, on the other hand, have to be able to be social protectors and providers. You said it. See, that was dope, because at least they went out and like they dressed up, you know, and they were kind of social with the sign. You know, that's a good thing. They should do more of that. Okay, so Stefan was saying there was a woman hikikomori earlier, but they didn't elaborate on her story, unfortunately. You could find your dog. I would go to a shelter. Go to an animal shelter. Yeah, there's a lot of this dude was Maricopa County. He was a rescue. There you go. Get with the Elton John. Get it in. Nakamoto, recluse, 4 years. Nakamoto. Yeah, these are the shut-ins. Yeah, that's another name for them, TJ, shut-ins.
天に召します我らの神を、今日も第8回ニート祭り無事開かせていただいて感謝いたします。風の噂では、キリスト様あなたもニートだったと、そしてあなたのお友達のブッダさんも
アーメン。ちょっとじゃあ劇団員の人ちょっと来てください。
労働こそがこの国をおかしくしている。皆さん労働者だ。労働者なのこれ。私と戦うか。労働という堕落の道を行くか。
どういうことなの？労働って堕落？
労働は堕落だ。
言い切っちゃった。
なんで労働すれば楽だからな、金が入るし、世間からもなんかしっかりしてる風に見られるし。なんかちょっと近づいてないんじゃないか。
Next week we'll do a little something more upbeat than Hikikomori. You know, we'll get through this, but I'm just saying I didn't think. You know, I'm just saying, yeah, we'll pick up the pace next week. Every Thursday, y'all, 7:30 or 7 Pacific Standard Time.
言いたいことも言えないんです。勤めてる。
ではですね、まず皆さんに若者たちの問題と関わってきて、今一番
That's the thing. If I was a Hikikomori, I would try to start my own breakdancing group, find out or skateboarding group. This is cool, like your own theatrical, like whatever theater group, something where you could build with other Hikikomori. That's all I'm saying.
言いたいことをそれぞれお伺いしたいなと思っているんですけれど、北上さんからお願いします。
さっき劇団無職。
Oh, I have to read the Stroke Doctor because he's getting real Dr. Grande up in here. Shame is also a huge component in Japanese culture. These people seem internally embarrassed for being shut-ins, which is a catch-22 itself. Very good observation.
なんか労働は堕落だとかね、なんか言おうかなと思ったら先に言われちゃった。キリスト教ではやっぱり労働というのは禁断の実を食べる。
I don't know if they're way past the point though. I mean, there's probably certain therapies that we don't even know about that could shock them back into like, whoa, like to wake up and want to do shit. Or I didn't even mention going to see you know, a psychiatrist or something.
としてしかないわけですから、それを感謝するっていうのは本当に日本人の感覚をおかしくしてしまった。やっぱり今森下君が言うようにどういうんですから、我々はたくさん働いてたくさん儲けて、それが幸せだというような価値観が、そこ辺で言えばもう僕なんかは21世紀に生きていくという上ではもう明らかに発達障害という診断を受けざるを得ない。やっぱり僕は21世紀の展望みたいなところで中本君に教えられた貧乏を楽しむ21世紀みたいにかなり深いことを言われて、その言葉が入るのに10年ぐらいかかったんですけどね。やっぱり、貧乏を楽しむというところが多分21世紀を楽しく生きるキーワードじゃないかと。
Someone said ball kicking would wake them up. Be nice now. Let's be civil.
ありがとうございます。ではニートおじこと中本さんお願いします。
僕自身のことで言うと、さっきジャスミンも、ジャスミンって言うんですけど、言ってたように一応大学は出てるんですけど、その後4年ぐらい別に何も動いてないっていう時期があって。
I'm just saying, attending this meeting I would probably want to be a Hikikomori because I'd be so bored. Like, okay, I want to go home. I want to be alone.
なくて、それを受け入れるものが、本当、やっぱりリクルートスーツ着て、今ね、皆さん大変ですけど、そういうのをやってる感覚が受け入れられなくて、すごい不思議でしたね。
Jillian says smelling salts. That, I'm not against that. I know that they would definitely, that would have an effect on them. I don't know if it be negative or positive, but that might work. I don't know. They should try it.
チラシにも書いてますけど、すごく分かりやすく言えばガツガツしない、気を落とさないっていう、これをなんか呪文のように捉えてるんですけど、いつもこれですよね。で、この感性が、私は人間マイナスイオンっていうふうに言うんですけ
Society
ど、
says that we're lazy, slackers, nothing, but we're not greedy and so on. Okay.
そういう感性をこう発せられる場に出てきてほしいなと、ずっと引きこもりだとやっぱり辛い。ね、そういううまく利用してやってほしい、仲間になってほしいなと思っています。
You know what? I was expecting this. I wanted to see individual cases where you seen a dude just like in his room, like talking to the wall or doing something like that. What, like, this is cool, it's positive, but I just would want to, that would be interesting to me. Go outside and do what, though? Go for a walk. How about that? Get some exercise. Get some sun. Go to the Kyoto park. Do something, man. This might be a woman. Let's wait for it. It's another dude. And what kind of gaming system is that, dog? Commodore? I never even seen. Have you got comment to tell me what kind of gaming system that is? That's straight, man. That looks older than the PlayStation 1. What is that? They need some Steebee fart beats to wake them up. Dude, that's so funny. PK? Dude, you need to get an updated gaming console. How about that? Leave your apartment to get a new gaming console. How about that? Then go back and be a Hikikomori. But dude, update your shit. I don't even, do you know what that was? That was a Sega? 001 Sega? I don't even know what machine that was. Okay, someone says it looks like the SNES. And what year was that though? Released? That ain't up. That's not a recent gaming console. That's old as fuck. Yeah, shout out to Australia. Good looking out, man. Thanks for being here. We'll pick up the pace next week, y'all. I'm sorry, I didn't think it'd be like this. I wanted to see more different type of footage. You know what'd be interesting? A day in the life of a Hikikomori. I mean, this is cool, the support group, so I want to see what they actually do during a whole day. Because, dude, I like laying around, you know, but you have to eventually leave and get the blood flowing, you know? Yeah, okay, someone says the shape and color looks like Nintendo. We gotta find that out, folks. There you go. Let's get a woman in here.
Konnichiwa. 今日伺いましたが会えなくて残念でした。
You don't even want to see a day in the life with me, pal. There's a lot of laying around watching YouTube, and looking at the ceiling. No, I'm just kidding. I've been leaving a lot. What is that? Are those shower hoses? Do you guys see what I'm seeing? What is that? Huh. I have seen souls in the ceiling, but that I was on LSD, so.
で、予毛さんから予毛さんに入場会議の時に
Back
聞いたんですけど、
to
まあ、それ
reality.
が足りないので、そこまでの入場はできないので、個別に交渉してくださいと言われました。それから、設備絡みは2点です。1階のトイレの電気なんですが。
I had the Super Nintendo. I don't know if there was an OG one, but yeah, I used to play this basketball game on it. I think NBA Live or.
直りました。奥あれね、スイッチの方がちょっとね、調子悪いのかもしれない。
Someone said they could rent a house and be alone together. I agree. How about they all live together and start like a gaming team? Yeah?
きちんとやってればつく。こってり絞られました、私。それから、3月3日に2人、3月4日に2人、予定では来ることになってます。うち3人は1ヶ月コースの人になりますので、皆さんそのつもりでお願いします。
You know why they're not coming to your group? You need to provide snacks, pal. Get some beverages, get some rice crackers, get shit going. Yeah, you have to make it appealing for them to want to go. Shout out to my homeboy, Abe, the Honest. Hi, Steve. I think you have a demon in your room. Don't say those things. Good looking out, Abe. You know that's weird that you said that because I downloaded... Okay, so if you guys go on iTunes, there's a movie called May the Devil Take You To, and it's for $4.99. It's on sale right now. It's a Shudder movie. I think it's an Indonesian demon movie, and I just bought that last night, and I couldn't watch it. I got kind of scared once I first saw the first demon in the bed, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch this right now. But it's on Apple right now for $4.99. May the Devil Take You To. Okay? And hey, guess what? That's a Frugal Brother tip I just did. Bless you. That's a Frugal Brother tip. Yeah, it's a Shudder movie. That's what I'm saying. Buy some Capri Suns and buy some Rice Krispies. Let's get things cracking at the support group, man. Yeah, Drag Me to Hell was a great movie, Johnny Blaze. I really enjoyed that movie. That was a fun one. God, what are they doing? Oh yeah, we'll get into some scary. What are they doing? At least play bingo, you know? At least Amberlynn Reed like goes to bingo, like play some big, like have something on the line where they can win something. Oh, Heavy Chevy, this is not my family. That's a good one though. No, it could be in an alternate reality.
別にそういう問題じゃない。
Shout out to my main man Abe. Last chance, the demon, Steebee. Where's the demon at, Abe? Holy smokes! Is there? Do you see a shadow?
まあ緩いなーってすごくスローだなーっていうのはまあ感じますけど、まあ言っちゃえば今までは学生時代とかと同じように親のお金で生活してたなんで。
Hey, dude, don't say there's a demon behind my left shoulder, dude. That's scary. Please don't say that.
まあきちんと自分でお金を稼いで自分で生活できればなっていうのを思いますね。
Yeah, I mean, what, this? Their group? Yeah, I mean, this is positive. At least they're in a group setting, and I don't know what kind of activities they're doing, but it seems like it's better than sitting alone in your room 24 hours a day.
って言ってまた免許も取って、まあ、就活して出るっていうのが、まあそれで出ればいいと思って。
How about this? At least have some miso soup in this motherfucker, y'all. Like, have something. Sean, we're watching a Hikikomori documentary about recluses that live in Japan. Can we get a woman in here? There's got to be one woman that's a Hikikomori, right? I haven't washed my sheets in a while, but I have, because I've been buying these Target plush blankets. My newest one is a mushroom plush blanket, so I just keep buying these $10 blankets and just overlapping my comforter. Yeah, but when my girl's here, we will wash the sheets. Wait, someone said sheets need to be washed? Yeah, or the comforter, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Roni. Yeah, you could get these blankets. They're plush blankets from Target, $10.
まあずっと一生引きこもり屋ニートでもいいはあまり思いませんけど、別に一回、まあ、引きこもり屋ニートでも別にそれはすごく変だとか恥ずかしいことだとは思いません。
I mean, this guy, that's, at least he's out of his apartment, and even though he was just staring at that owl or that bird, so I guess this is better than being inside of his room.
また社会に出ようっていう思いもあるんですけど、まだ他人とのコミュニケーション。
I mean, he's rocking them Adidas shell toes. I mean, that's some flavor.
難しいと思ってますけど、コンビニのバイト始めてからまあ、家族とか他の人になんかよく喋るようにな前よりよく喋るようになったとは言われます。
I'm not officially Hikikomori, but I have Hikikomori tendencies, all right? I'll just say that. And dude, you need to see, at least there's some order. Like, he needs to get a trash bag and pick that shit up. Like, if you're in your room 24 hours a day, at least have it somewhat organized and pick, tidy, okay? I wouldn't rock like that. Rock it like that. Yeah, I'm semi Hikikomori. Dude, The thing is, I just went to the Hollywood Bowl 2 weeks in a row. Let me tell you something. If a Hikikomori even attempted to go walk up that hill near, they would have a panic attack. They wouldn't be able to make it up there, dude. I'm telling you.
まあ、卒業したい、ニュースタート卒業したいと思いますけど、今は卒業のことはあんまり考えてないです。
See what I'm saying though? Just for like culturally, this is the subway. It's like everyone's minding their own business, looking. They have their masks on. They're just doing their own thing, dude. If you take the red line right now, if I were to hop on the red line right here, dude, you would see something. Someone talking to themselves or something weird happening on the subway. Yeah, Japan's way different. Look at that. Everyone's well-mannered. Everyone's keeping to themselves.
この臨機応変さっていうんでしょうか。それが僕はここで得た力の一つだと思っています。ここで仕事体験や当番を通じて
until someone said until Johnny Somali shows up. Hey, dude, facts. Yeah, Johnny Somali would definitely stir that train up. He'd bring a rotten fish on there and just start waving it in people's faces. Yeah, LA has a subway. Yeah, it'll take you all the way to Union Station. Yeah, it's called the Red Line, Metro.
今の職場に就職したのは2010年の4月。記憶できなくなる認知症っていう方のが集団で生活しているところのお世話を。
Hey, since you're bringing up Johnny Somali, his homeboy Hank erased all of his content on his YouTube channel, so they're like being quiet right now. They're not saying a thing, all right? Because I think their trial is coming up. Look up Legal Mindset. That's where I get my coverage of Johnny Somali.
職場の人との信頼関係がちゃんと取れてないっていうか、まだ多分僕自身も不安を残してるし、向こうもちょっと不安に思ってることがあるので。
Someone says, Steebee, are there any similarities between the Japanese and Korean language? Probably. No, that's not a dumb question. Just curious. Yeah, there's similarities. I know there's look, I mean, I have Japanese blood in, like, yeah, my brother did a DNA test. He had and then I think where I have 10% Japanese blood. And I don't know if you could join the Yakuza if you're not Asian. I think that's a prerequisite. You need to be Japanese. I'm not quite, don't quote me on that.
多分自分が言葉で表現できないものを表現する手段だし、
There you go.
自分自身の助けでもあるし、やっぱり音楽ない生活っていうのは僕には考えられない。多分それを歌って何か感じた人がその人の助けになるような道具として。
Hell yeah, get it in, dude. Oh hell yeah, get it in, bro. Oh, he's about to do a Vegas. I mean, that was my exact question, band video. I don't know if they're going to show any women Hikikomori, but this dude is a Hikikomori. He's about to perform.
それの元になった歌です。ドーンっていう方が歌ってる幸せの黄色いリボンっていう。
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know Koreans had 30% Yakuza membership. Shout out to my homeboy Corbin Brondell. A 7, 7 sev, 2 sevs, and a sev. Good night. Hell yeah, Corbin. Good looking out. Hey, he's putting himself out there. You got to give him credit, right? So there you go. Play some tennis. Get out there. Asian Frank Sinatra.
そうですね。今何歳なんでしょうかね。さあ、高尾さん。今31ですね。ああ、10年前だったらもっと足が増えたんですけど。
Sean says, Steebee, are you in this movie? No, dude, I'm not. We're reacting to this, all right? I'm not in the documentary, okay? Holy smokes. You know what, Sean? I have a feeling you want me to be in this documentary. Huh, don't you? Huh?
11年 3.11 が起こってから、ここの若者たちと一緒に、宮城の方には何回も行ってるんですね。7回ぐらいも行っていて。
You know what I want to know? I just thought of this. Do they shower? What's up with their hygiene? I want to see the Hikikomori, like, you know, they're grooming and they're shampooing their hair and like, yeah. Do you think they shower?
ボランティアに行ったのは一つは人の役に立つっていうのがすごい大きな経験になるからっていうのもあったんですけど、それぐらい一番来てくれることが一番です。やれる作業があればやってほしいけども、来てくれるだけでいいんだよっていうことを向こうの人は言うんですよね。で、
You know what's crazy? If like, cause I've thought of this. If I were to like leave and go and be a Hikikomori, I would bring my sampler and a few notebooks, and I would try to make the best album that I could.
一番人がやっぱり足りてないのは福島だっていう情報があったんで、イタリアはやっぱりどんな風になってるのかなっていうのが。
Shout out to my homeboy Corbin Brondell. Again, I need the next Steebee'Weebee show, by the way. Come through, dog.
二上さんなんかも言ってるけど3.1
Where are the women at?
あった本当に、身の丈にあって幸せとかそういうものはだからそういう考え方はずっと僕も思っていてで
I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. Well, you know what? We're gonna pick up the pace next week. I didn't know that this would be, you know, we'll pick up the pace next week. I would love to get a Hikikomori on the podcast, but how would I get a hold of these people? I wouldn't know where to start. I mean, the guy holding the mic, that could be me in 10 years, right? Same kind of vibe, right? Same height, same projection. Shout out to my homeboy Corbin Brondell. What's this movie about? This is about the Hikikomori. I'm still trying to figure it out. I didn't think it. I thought we'd get more in-house, them in their rooms, but it seems like they're out and about on the street. Let me see how. Here we go. First woman Hikikomori, y'all. Here we go. Look, it's a woman.
そのままの状態でいると
Holy smokes. Hallelujah. Our first woman Hikikomori. That's her.
多分ずっとそのままで居続けてしまってると思うんですよね。で、もうすぐ春になるし、春は新しいことを始める季節でもあるので、4月になったら一回ニュースタートに来て、ちょっとどういうところか見学しに来てみませんか？
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I spoke too soon.
ぜひ一回来てほしいなと思ってるんですね。で、きっとそういうことっていうのはさんには、物足りない場所かもしれないんですけど、そこからさんのやりたいことを
Oh, that's the therapist. Sorry. Good. All right. Sorry. I was wondering what that was. That's the therapist. The woman's the therapist. Whoever edited this thing, come on, let's pick up the pace, y'all. It's almost. I think it's almost done. Yeah. I know. I'm sorry, William. I'm sorry. I didn't think it'd be like this. Next week's going to be a lot more faster paced. Okay, William. I might even stream twice because I feel bad that I'm showing, because this is like, oh my God, I apologize. All right, there you have it, y'all. Next week, or I might owe you guys another stream. I didn't think that it would be that slow. I didn't think it would be. I mean, God, I wanted to see more footage of them just in their rooms. I want to know what they do with their, in their rooms, So, thanks for tuning in. I mean, since y'all are here, should we go into a more, video? This is gonna be. I wanted to show this one. Where's Dire Trip? You know what? I'll give you guys another video. How about that? This is gonna be, woo! This is gonna. Hold up. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Duke said yeah. Let's see. No, we're not doing Elliot. Let me see. Let's see videos. This is the video. I gotta watch it with you guys. Okay, so this is the criminals so stupid they were studied by psychologists.
Dumb criminals out there are a dime a dozen. It's hard to ignore that a lot of crimes are conducted so badly that the average person can't fathom how they thought they would get away with it.
This is gonna be fun, guys.
It's even more rare that a criminal is so monumentally stupid that psychologists actually stop.
I mean, look at this guy's disguise. Might as well just put a paper bag over her head. Look at this guy.
Their thought process.
This is gonna be fun, y'all. So I'm giving you guys an encore. I felt so bad about the Hikikomori. We're gonna do something very fun now.
We've shown dumb criminals on this channel before. A whole lot of them, actually. But it's not often that a criminal is so profoundly stupid that they're studied by psychologists and go on to inspire a whole new term in the study of psychology as a whole. Let's get into just how that happened. Back in the far-off year of 1995, two men, MacArthur Wheeler and Clifton Earl Johnson, decided they wanted to rob some banks. In order to do so, they felt that they needed the perfect disguise. That's where MacArthur got an idea. If invisible ink can't be seen, what if you could make your face invisible? He thought that, since you can use lemon juice as invisible ink, it might make anything it touches invisible to cameras. Being that it was a bit of a leap in logic, MacArthur decided to put his new theory to the test. He began to vigorously rub lemon juice all over his face. He noted that it was burning his face and his eyes, causing him to have trouble with his vision. He had to squint to even see, but he decided to power through regardless. He then took out a Polaroid camera, turned it around, and took a picture of his face to see if it really worked. To his surprise, it did. There was nothing on the photo. However,
This fool thought lemon juice would make his face disappear. How crazy is that?
It was later highly suspected that MacArthur simply made a mistake while taking the photo. It's believed that, either due to the lemon juice in his eyes making it difficult to see, or his own stupidity, probably both, MacArthur pointed the camera away from his face while taking the photo. If one were to be generous, you could argue that it might have been a mistake in the film or the lens of the camera being misaligned, but it's far more likely that MacArthur simply missed. Fully confident that he had discovered a real-life cheat code, MacArthur and Clifton were more than ready to head out and rob some banks. On the afternoon of January 6, 1995, they set out on their mission. One bank they robbed was at the Fidelity Savings Bank.
What about just your standard ski masks? What, he thought lemon juice would make his face disappear? Holy shit.
Bank in the Brighton Heights area of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. With Arthur taking the lead in the crimes, they proceeded on to the Swissvale branch of Mellon Bank. In broad daylight, with no disguise, MacArthur approached the counter with a handgun while Clifton waited in line behind him. MacArthur demanded some money from the teller, waving his gun around while doing so. With the lemon juice on his face and burning his eyes, he felt empowered. No camera could even see him. He had already won. Getting about $5,200 from the heist, they made a break for it and left the building. Altogether, they got about $8,900 in total from both of the robberies. The police came out to the bank and asked to see the security camera footage. There they found a lot of images of MacArthur, his face clear as day, with a clear photo of his face and
Shout out to CMC ya later. Friendulum, tip abrasive circles, S deeper. What was this guy thinking? He's robbing a bank with lemon juice on his face.
his 5'6", 270-pound stature, he wasn't exactly the kind of guy that would blend into a crowd if people were looking for him. A few months later, they decided to broadcast his photo and the details of the case on a local TV show called Pittsburgh Crime Stoppers, and it was actually only a matter of minutes before MacArthur was identified as the man in the photo. Less than an hour after the show was broadcast, the police were making their way out.
Yeah, I agree. ICE out of LA. Get the fuck out. I agree.
To MacArthur to arrest him. When they approached him, he said that he wasn't the man who robbed that bank, fully confident that they had no evidence against him. When the police presented his photograph from the security camera footage and asked, "Is this you?" he was floored. All the color drained.
He was surprised? He was surprised that they could see him on the video camera? How dumb can you be?
From his face as he screamed, "But I wore the lemon juice. I wore the lemon juice," as the cops threw him into the back of the car. It wasn't too long before they were on Clifton's trail as well. Once he was arrested and went to trial, Clifton didn't only plead guilty to the robberies they knew of, he also admitted to committing some robberies the year prior in 1994 as well. While doing so, he testified against MacArthur, sealing his fate. While
I'm just saying, these two deserve to get caught. You know what I mean?
Clifton got a 5-year prison sentence for himself, he really only acted as backup during the robberies. Given that MacArthur had been the main participant, he was hit much more harshly. He was given a 24.5-year prison sentence. After the two went to jail, a summary of the robberies was published in the 1996 edition of the World Almanac. A man named David Dunning, who was a professor of social psychology at Cornell University at the time.
Someone said, Anthony said, the lemon juice must have worn off.
Time came to
Dude, how about this? It never worked in the first place.
Story that way. Intrigued,
Oh
he
my
decided to look more
God.
into the case, checking out a few
Lord.
local newspapers from the Pittsburgh area at the time. While reading about the case,
Maybe someone said maybe he used the wrong kind of lemon.
Dunning was hit with inspiration.
Oh
he
my
began to formulate a theory. He later explained his thought process, saying, "If MacArthur Wheeler was too stupid to be a bank robber, perhaps he was also too stupid to know that he was too stupid to be a bank robber.
Oh, Lord.
That is, his stupidity protected him from an awareness of his own stupidity."
Lord.
Dunning decided to get the help of a graduate student named Justin Kruger to organize a research program to prove whether or not this theory had any merit. They wanted to see whether someone's perception of their
You know what would be great, though? If it was two Hikikomoris that tried to rob the bank. That would have been great.
own competence could be measured against their actual competence. They ended up publishing their study in 1999.
Someone said, should have brought backup lemons. This wouldn't have happened otherwise.
The paper included the line, "Not only do they reach erroneous conclusions and make unfortunate choices, but their incompetence robs them of the ability to realize it. Instead, like Mr. Wheeler, they are left with the mistaken impression that they are doing just fine." This study came to be what is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, a psychological effect that is still brought up today whenever someone acts in a similar manner. Dunning and Kruger weren't even the only people to come to study MacArthur Wheeler. R. Lofton Hudson, who was both a pastor and a psychologist, came to take an interest in him as well. He said that this could be happening to anyone and they wouldn't even know, saying, "We mistakenly and uncritically believe in our relational skill set when in reality these skills may be no more effective than Mr.
I got
Wheeler's
some lemon
special
juice.
cream." While I wouldn't really call it a special cream because, yeah, the fact still stands that MacArthur's
You never know. What if it works? I just bought this from Rouse. If this could make my face disappear, we could, this will buy my ticket to Japan.
stupidity was to such an extent that he would go down in history, being labeled by name in psychology books all over the world. Ever since then, we've seen the Dunning-Kruger effect play out in many, many different cases in real time. Let's look into the story of Matthew Allen McNally and Joey.
Where'd I go? I went to the fridge to grab some fucking invisible fucking juice, my man. This'll make you rob a bank good.
Lee Miller. Matthew, who was 23 at the time, and Joey, who was 20, were a couple of goofballs that were engaging in some goofball.
Dude, are those their tattoos? I know I got some questionable ones, but dude, why would you want to do the Sharpie tattoos on your face like that?
They were both seen by a witness who called the police, saying that the two men were attempting to break into a man's apartment in Carroll, Iowa. While the police were told during the call that there were two men in hoodies with paint on their face, it was actually much weirder than that. Matthew and Joey had simply taken some black markers and drawn squiggles all over their faces.
Oh, so that was their disguise! They thought they could get away with it with Sharpies on their faces! Holy smokes, dude!
Needless to say, having some lines on your face doesn't really do a whole lot to hide your identity. The police went out to the area.
Dude, that's more for like a Insane Clown Posse concert, my friends. That ain't for what you're trying to do.
Across a car along the way that matched the description of their suspect's car. The cops pulled the car over, finding the two young men covered in marker inside.
Dummies.
Not only were they dumb, the two were both fairly drunk as well. They arrested the two men at gunpoint as they had just attempted a robbery moments before. Wow. As it turns out, they had even used permanent marker, meaning the police couldn't even get it off for their mugshots.
Dude. Dude. That should be... They should record an album in prison, and that should be the album cover. And the name of the album should be Sharpies.
A police officer called the two men Dumb and Dumber, leading to the media running with that moniker. It was widely agreed upon that these were the worst disguises ever. Jokingly, the local police chief said, "We are very skilled investigators, and the black faces gave them right away." Wow. To a local radio show, he added, "I've been the chief here almost 25 years. Been with the department 28 and a half years, and I've seen a lot of things that make..."
Yeah, I agree. The Sharpie was a bad choice. Anything but the Sharpie move.
Me laugh and weird things, but this was probably the best combination of the two. Strangely weird and hilariously funny all at the same time. I mean, just the face thing is what sets it apart. Both of the two were charged with attempted burglary, with Matthew getting an extra charge of driving while intoxicated. The charges were...
I mean, imagine that conversation with your homie, like, "Hey, what's going to be our disguise? Let's get Sharpies and just draw and just doodle all over our faces."
Later lowered to attempted second-degree burglary, and the two were released on bail.
Wow.
After a while, the judge just dismissed the case against them entirely, saying that there was no physical evidence that they were trying to break in anywhere. Given that there was no real evidence, and that neither of them had a weapon, and nobody was injured, they just kinda let it go. Those two weren't even the only ones to try out this sort of disguise.
You know what? At least, like, do more of it. I don't know what kind of patterns are those for. Don't you have? Is that? If you're gonna do a disguise, wouldn't you do it a lot like a different kind of pattern? I don't know.
Which brings us to the case of a Florida man, maybe? In Holiday, Florida, at the Holiday gas station
Here we
in
go.
Pacific, a burglar was prowling around. This person, who was dressed up in a pilot-style jumpsuit and a bandana, walked into the store and told the clerk to put her hands up. This person then demanded cash from the register, and the clerk handed it over fairly swiftly. One strange aspect of the case was that the robber didn't have a weapon and never even claimed to. The most strange aspect, though, was the disguise.
Look at this fucking fool! He did the Sharpie move in a different kind of way! I can't do this right now with you guys. Dude.
Much like Matthew and Joey,
Please
this
don't
person had
tell me
drawn on
that's
a beard
disguise. Holy
with
shit.
a permanent marker.
Dude.
The robber then hopped back into their car and sped off south down the highway.
Oh my
Without much
God.
to go on, the
Why'd
police
you
took to
do
Twitter
that?
to post about their suspect. They originally described the person as being...
This motherfucker did a whole goatee. What a dumbass. I'm so sorry that you guys have to see this, but look at him, man. He did the Sharpie move, but like he created a whole goatee and beard.
Being a white
Holy
male in
shit.
his 30s or 40s with long dark hair.
Yeah,
and a
because
heavy-set
the
build.
ski masks were too expensive.
However, it wasn't too long before they revised their statement, noting that while they did assume the suspect was a man, they didn't actually know for sure.
I'm
They
so
said,
sorry!
"We are still looking for tips, and the suspect may be a male or a female."
God, what a
The strangest
dumbass!
aspect about this case is that the disguise might have actually worked. The suspect in this case was never actually caught.
Dude, it worked. So that's telling you, if you do the Sharpie move, make sure you cake on the whole thing. Wow.
However, it's more likely that this wasn't due to the fake beard and more due to the fact that this was a random
Yeah.
highway robbery with very
Exactly,
little photo
bad
and
video.
video evidence to go on. This could have just been a random person on the highway on a long trip who went far away afterwards and never looked back.
Wow.
We don't only have a beard, we also have the case of Mustache Lady.
This lady didn't even try. She's like, I'm just gonna do a hoodie over my head and then draw a mustache, a Sharpie mustache, above my lip.
Out in Boston, a robbery
I'm
was taking
so
place
sorry
at the
that
Webster
they had
First
to
Federal
deal with
Credit
these
Union.
people.
In broad daylight at about 1 p.m.,
Oh
a woman
my
entered
God,
into
look at her. She's like, fuck it, I just need a blue hoodie and a Sharpie mustache and I could rob a bank.
the bank and handed the teller a note, threatening to end her life if she didn't hand over some cash.
Unbelievable.
She was described as being a white woman, around 20 to 30, who was wearing glasses and a blue hoodie. More interestingly, she had drawn a mustache on her face with an ink pen while doing nothing to hide any of her other feminine traits.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, you gotta hide some of your other features. That ain't gonna do it.
Much like in the previous case, though, it seems that this woman actually did get away with it. When the police took to the internet to try and find out who this person was, they didn't really end up getting any good tips. This is most likely not because of the mustache. I mean, it's barely even visible in most of the photos. It was more likely...
So what's the lesson learned? If you do the Sharpie move, don't focus on other places on your face. Just do a mustache or a goatee and a beard, and you could get away with robbing a bank. Holy smokes.
Due to the fact that nobody recognized her. She probably just lucked out. The president of the credit union wasn't too bad of shape about it. He said that he was just happy that nobody was hurt.
Oh my God.
Moving away from pens and markers, we also have the strange story of Casey G. Kazi. Casey was a 25-year-old man living in Ashland, Kentucky. He was a pretty heavily tattooed guy, the kind of look you would expect for a robber. Likely knowing that he would need some sort of disguise to hide this...
Yeah, I agree, Band Video. All these cops need to be fired immediately.
...easily identifiable look, he decided to use a very simple tool, duct tape, wrapping the tape around his whole... head.
Do you believe this fucking guy, man? Dude.
Portion
I
open
just
for his
can't.
eyes and mouth. Confident that he would succeed in the crime this way, he approached a local liquor store. He entered into the store and threatened...
You gotta be kidding me. He actually thought duct tape would be a very good disguise? Might as well use Scotch tape, pal.
...to injure the clerk inside if she didn't pay up. So she did. Another employee, though, wasn't having it. When Casey left the store, this other...
They can't see him. You can't see that, dude. It's just him with just duct tape all over his face.
Their employee chased him down, beat him up with a baseball bat, and held him there in a chokehold until the police showed up.
Oh, wow.
The police arrived and found that Casey didn't even have a...
I mean, dude. I can't right now. Look at this guy. What a freaking fool. You know what's crazy? When he was plotting this out, somewhere in his mind, he thought, yeah, this one could work. Look at this fool.
Not only that, but his duct tape was very easy to remove as it had gotten pretty loose from all the sweat. It wasn't too long before...
I need this guy immediately on the Steebee'sWeebee show. I have a lot of questions.
Casey became a local, even national spectacle. He was labeled as the duct tape bandit and typically ended up on any top 10 dumbest criminals list that you might come across. In an interview from jail, Casey proclaimed his innocence, despite the mountain of evidence against him, photos of him in the duct tape, and being caught in the act.
They call you the duct tape bandit. That's not you?
Look at me. Do I look like a duct tape bandit, baby? I'm not no duct tape bandit, you hear me? Live one-on-one, Ashland, Kentucky, you know this is not me. Now look, do the math, do the homework, man.
What a character. Imagine how bad he got clowned in prison. Oh, you know that he got clowned hard. Hey, Mr. Duck, what's up, dog? You know?
However, Casey came to change his tone not too long after. He pled guilty to a charge of second-degree robbery. After a plea deal, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. This is because he also admitted to robbing a businessman in an alleyway 6 months before.
You know what? I want to be the masking tape guy. I want to take it to a whole different level.
As well. He's now in the Kentucky State Reformatory, eligible for parole on August 8th, 2025. Still, even when he gets out for that, he's going to have to return to Ohio. This is because he was actually on parole there for—
I mean, what is he gonna tell his mom? Like, that's embarrassing. What would you tell your family members? Yeah, I robbed a bank using duct tape on my face.
Another burglary while he committed this one. So whenever he does get out, he's going to have to go back and complete the remainder of his sentence there as well.
Steve, do you think baseball face would work? Shout out to Baggy. This is AI, homie. I don't know if this is AI. This is what I'm gonna do, though. I'm just gonna do this, dude. This is how I rob my bank. Hell yeah. Let's keep going.
This brings us to someone even dumber than Casey, that being David Springthorpe. David was a habitual shopper.
Hey, this might work. I'm just saying, this is better than what they're using. Look at this. I created this. This is baseball face. I think this would work.
Lifter in Alfreton in the UK. While we don't know the true extent of his thievery, we do know of a few items that he stole. He stole several perfume and gift sets from a store called Boots, as well as some steak from a local co-op store. Dumb as hell and high on crack, David continued to swipe different items here and there. While doing so, he felt that he had come up with a perfect disguise. Taking a page right out of a Superman comic, he simply put on a pair of glasses.
This is the dumbest one yet. What a dummy. He put on a pair of glasses. That's his disguise.
Feeling that nobody would ever be able to find out his true identity, he would steal from the shops and then put on some glasses after he left. He was fully confident that his disguise was impeccable, leisurely walking down the sidewalk with zero fear that the cops were on his trail. Much to his dismay, the cops found him very quickly. After all, he had—
I'll do one. I'm Bubble. Give me your money from the cash register.
just left the store and casually walked away. After the police arrested him, they posted his mugshot.
Look at this fool! Dude, he looks like the same guy!
Online, both with and without the glasses. Internet users quickly began to clown on him, mocking his disguise.
Oh my god.
In the end, though, he wasn't hit that hard. A judge fined him £80 and ordered him to pay £20
Yeah, crack is a hell of a drug. Unbelievable.
compensation, 30 more as a victim surcharge, and £85 in court costs. While duct tape and glasses at least are not—
I mean, who do you think's I think the best guy is the duct tape guy. I think he's the king right now. Who could beat that one?
transparent, that wouldn't be the case when it came to Jamie Neal and Gareth Tilley. Still in the UK, Cornwall to be exact, we have the story of Jamie Neal, a 41-year-old criminal, and his miscreant accomplice, 20-year-old Gareth Tilley. Both having been a part of various burglaries in the past, the two decided that they wanted to rob a store together once more. So they set out on their journey, getting plenty high on some stolen prescription medication and drunk on alcohol along the way. Realizing that they hadn't thought about disguises, the two men realized that they needed to think quickly. Gareth, realizing that you actually need to hide your face, snatched the scarf and wrapped it around his head. Jamie, though, a bit on the dumber—
There he is! There's my boy! That's his disguise!
side, picked up a completely transparent plastic bag and put it over his head. Not only—
You gotta think this through, man! You can't just put a plastic bag over your head and think you're gonna get away with it!
only was his whole face completely visible, he was also having trouble breathing. Jamie held his phone up at a worker, claiming that it was a gun despite it being plainly visible. The two men then demanded money from the cashier. Things quickly fell into chaos when the woman...
Dude, that's a rap album cover right there, if I've seen it. That should be his album cover.
...woman hit the alarm button. Jamie then headbutted her in the face before briefly wrestling with her. The cashier, though, gave him a pretty good beating. The scuffle ended with both the men grabbing several bottles of booze and running out of the store.
Yeah, I think Band Video says, I think he takes a cake. Yeah, I think this guy takes a cake, because he just said, fuck it, I'm just going to put a bag over my head. At least the duct tape, it was a bit methodical, there was effort involved.
Police came out and checked the security camera footage from the store, seeing Jamie there in all of his glory. Only 2 days later, an off-duty detective just happened to spot him while out and about, calling for backup and arresting him. Jamie quickly squealed on Gareth, leading to him being arrested as well. The detective on the case told the media that the disguise was the most ridiculous one he had ever come across in his entire career.
Don't you think that'd be the first thing you would discuss with your partner? Like, hey dog, like we got to come up with costumes or disguises. They came up with this like what, 10 minutes before they're gonna rob the store? Holy smokes.
The two men's trials eventually came about. Jamie was convicted on a robbery charge and was sentenced to 2 years in prison. Gareth, who appears to have been a drifter, was lucky enough to secure himself a room and was sentenced to 2 years himself. Believe it or not, we have a very similar but even dumber case.
I think we have a new king! Look at this fucking fool!
This being the case of Patrick S. McGuire. In East St. Louis, we have the story of a 49-year-old man, Patrick S. McGuire, who was a career criminal, living in one of the most dangerous...
What are you doing? The bottom half is covered. You could see your whole face still, pal. What are you thinking?
Parts of St. Louis, Patrick had at least 14 felony charges under his belt, along with over 30 misdemeanors. One judge said that this was, quote, the most extensive criminal history I have ever seen. Patrick, though, was even dumber than Jamie. He also decided...
It'd be great to do a combination of all of them. Get some lemon juice, squirt it in your eyes and your face, and then get some tape and a bag, and do a combination of all of them.
Put a clear plastic bag over his head, but he did it in a way where the upper half of his face wasn't even inside the bag at all. Making his way into a local Circle K gas station...
he's going to a Circle K. I used to work at a Circle K. I would have spotted this guy, I'm just saying.
He put another plastic bag over an object in his hand and moved towards the clerk. He demanded money, getting a measly $60 from the register. He then fled the scene. It goes without saying that Patrick's lackluster disguise and the fact that the police knew him pretty well at this point led to a quick arrest. To make things even worse, Patrick hadn't even been out on probation for 2 weeks from his last felony when he was hit with the charges. In his trial, Patrick was sentenced to 15.5 years in prison for his robbery.
15.5 years. Dude, get your disguise better next time.
The judge hoped that he would go without parole for a significantly longer period of time this time around, saying, "I don't think I've seen a case where there's a stronger need to protect the public." And now we have a case that I've saved for last, and this is because I'm not sure if it's one of the worst costumes ever, or if it's one of the best.
This might take the cake. Wait for it.
This is the case of the human tree, James...
The human tree! Here we go, guys!
Coldwell. In the town of Manchester in Pennsylvania, a 49-year-old man named James Coldwell decided that he wanted to go rob a bank. He felt that he had the perfect disguise in mind. He got to work crafting his costume. To do so, he just...
There he is! There he is, guys! Take a look! Take a look at who takes the cake! This motherfucker thought he could get away looking like a tree!
A bunch of leafy tree branches all over his body.
Oh my God.
James made his way out to the Citizens Bank on Elm Street right around when it opened. Even though there weren't any plants...
Yo, keep that shit in the Fangorn forest, pal. That shit ain't gonna work here.
In the bank, real or fake, he thought he would blend in pretty perfectly. Having no...
Hey, might as well, if you're gonna think tree, might as well just be a bush. Just spray paint your thing green and get, like, grass glued onto your, onto your body.
Weapon, he waited in line in his tree suit. He gradually made his way up to the teller. There he demanded money, got a bit of cash, and simply left.
God, you can't make this up. This motherfucker, He tried to do it with dressed like a tree.
The police came out to the scene very quickly and got to work with the canine unit, all set to track James down. Unfortunately, the dog wasn't able to get a good scent and they couldn't find him. That didn't last too long, though. As soon as James made the local news right after, one of his neighbors recognized him and called the police.
I'm just saying, I like the other criminals, but I think this guy takes the cake. I mean, this guy, because he was creative with it. He probably went to Home Depot and got some branch pieces, and he got creative with it.
The police came out to his house and arrested him, finding out
the fart of God. He waited in line like that, dressed like a tree.
He didn't even live 1 mile away from the bank. He was flabbergasted that the police were able to identify him despite his disguise.
James Caldwell, if you're out there, I would love to interview you. I would love to podcast with you. Holler at me.
His neighbors all laughed as he was taken off to jail. A detective set up the case. He really went out on a limb. James was hit with the charge of robbery. All the money that he had stolen and...
Hold up, let's take a look at his disguise, y'all. Is he wearing, like, mascara? Like, what is he doing? That's crazy, dude. He's only covering, like, this part in the back.
The heist was recovered from his house and given back to the bank.
Oh my god.
Once again, this has been your host, Kyle. If you found the video interesting, please give it...
Alright, so hey, at least we ended on a high note. Hold up. Baseball Face has an announcement for y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Steebee Stream. Come back next Thursday around 7:30 Pacific Standard Time for another fun Steebee live stream. We'll mix it up again. Maybe we'll do Joe Sung Wee. And make sure you go get your lemon juice to make your face disappear. I love you guys, and thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you tune in Wednesdays for the normal content at youtube.com/steebeeweebee. A shout out to like and share the stream, y'all. The stream, not the scream. Make sure you share and like the stream and get your lemon juice today. This will make you disappear. Love y'all. Till next time. Don't do anything stupid and make sure you have a great disguise. Love y'all. What do you think?